Hi, this is Bay and Jensen chapter 1. This chapter is going to discuss about what is money, what are the functions of money, how do you distinguish commodity money from other kinds of money. So it's a very theoretical chapter, and you might already have got the PDF of this chapter. So to begin with, let's understand what is money. So money is anything that is accepted by the society. An important thing that money should have is that it should be a medium of exchange. You should be able to use it to buy goods, to buy services, or to settle any debts. Coins and rupee currency are widely accepted as money. Now, one question that arises is that what is that one thing which is very important when we talk about money? It is the liquidity of money. What is liquidity? Liquidity is how easily can any asset be converted into something which you can use as a medium of exchange. So, for example, if I tell you that we have to compare a house versus something, say I have to compare house versus I have to compare the money that is there in my bank versus I have to compare gold, then the liquidity of them would differ depending on how easily can I go and sell them and encash them. So an amount, an FD which is there in the bank can be easily encashed. But if I have to go and sell a house or I have to go and sell a machinery, it is going to take time. So liquidity is how easily can I convert something into the medium of exchange, primarily because the medium of exchange is money. So how easily can I convert something into money? Now, what are the functions of money? So the first function of money is that it can be used as a medium of exchange. Now, why do we need money to be used as a medium of exchange? So all of us know that before money existed, we had something which was known as a barter system. Now, what was a barter system? A barter system was a system where I was selling you the thing that you wanted, and you in return were selling me the thing that I want. So there was something which was known as double coincidence of wants. I sell you something that you want to desire, and you send me something that I want to desire. But in this barter system, the issue with barter system was that a lot of times it took a lot of time, a lot of transaction cost to find the person who would be willing to sell exactly what you want, and at the same time who would also buy from you the thing that you have. So it takes time for us to satisfy the wants of both the people, and that is why a lot of transaction cost was involved to find that person. So because of that, money came as a good source to solve this problem, and you could easily use money to solve the problem of double coincidence of wants and use it as a medium of exchange. The second thing is something which is known as a unit of account. So I have to account everything. So if I tell you that I have an asset, I have a machinery with me, machinery A, and you also have a machinery with you, machinery B. And now I ask you that who is more richer? Do I have a thing which is of higher value, or do you have a thing which is of higher value? How do you tell me which person has investment or has assets of higher value? Only when you can account those. So I need a common measure to account everything, right? So therefore, money came in as a unit of account. It enabled me to account everything in the same terms, in the same denomination. So I could compare things. So now I understand that when I compare an apple versus gold, gold is having much more value because when I put them both in terms of rupees, one carries higher rupee than other. So unit of account says that money helped you to account everything in the same denomination. So here there is this important line which says if there are n goods, there will be n minus 1 by 2 prices, which makes sense. So suppose I have 10 goods in place, then each of the good had to be accounted in terms of other good. So, if I have grain, I have mangoes, I have apples, then I wanted to understand the price of each in terms of other. How many apples for how many mangoes? How many apples for how many grains? So, all those permutation combinations had to be applied. But now money enabled you to remove that and to have a single denomination. So the next property is the store of value. What does the store of value states? The store of value says that you can easily store money, and storing money implies that the purchasing power today gives you, I mean, we always have inflation, but it more or less gives you the same money back tomorrow. So when we were storing goods, there were two issues. First, there was an issue of perishability. So supposedly, I am talking about a barter system and I only produce fruits or I only produce milk. Storing milk or storing fruits would mean that there are chances that they would be of little value or no value in the future because they're perishable goods, right? And also at the same time, there would be very high maintenance cost. So for example, I produce machinery for which I need to do a barter system. So keeping that machinery or keeping things in the warehouse would enable you to have a very high maintenance cost. The property of money is that it erodes these two things. So you no more have to consider or think of perishability. You no more have to think of high maintenance cost. They're just nodes. You can go easily and store them easily. So store of value is another property of money. The next thing is called the standard for deferred payments. So what is the standard for deferred payments? What is deferred payment? Deferred payment is a payment which you are making it, you have to pay it in the future. You're deferring it. You're taking it to the future for you to make the payment. So, if you don't have money, which is a common standard, making payments in the future is a very difficult thing for you to. Today, I can tell you that, if you give me 100 rupees with interest, I'm going to give you 110 rupees back. But if money didn't exist, then in terms of good, telling how many goods will I return you would be a very difficult thing to do. So money acted as a standard for deferred payments. The next thing is, what are the origins of money? So all of us understand initially you had these religious objects that were being used as money. Very soon you had the barter system. The barter system failed because, as I mentioned, there was double coincidence of wants and there was a very high cost involved. So then you started using, golds. There were golds, there were bullions, but those golds were kind of commodity money, which is okay. But then they were very heavy to carry. Carrying so much gold for exchange purpose was difficult. So you switched on to paper currency. So this is how money evolved. The next thing is types of money. So we have to understand what are the different type of money. The first is the commodity money. Now, what is a commodity money? Commodity money is anything which has its physical appearance, but at the same time has alternative non-monetary uses also. So for example, gold. Gold can itself be used to buy different things. That is one thing. But gold in itself was used for the purpose of purchase. So you could buy gold. So gold was used as a commodity itself, but you could use gold to buy things. So it was also used as money, or it was also used to do the transactions. So that made two purposes of commodity money. Now, there are two kinds of commodity money. First is called a full-bodied money. Second is called a representative full-bodied money. When I talk about gold, then gold carries the value exactly at the price at which it is traded. So the monetary value is equal to the non-monetary value of a full-bodied money. But let's talk about representative full-bodied money. Now, in representative full-bodied money, it is like the paper money. So, you know, that paper which circulates, it represents in the background that it has something associated with it, but the paper in itself doesn't really have any value. It represents value, but the commodity in itself doesn't really carries any value. So it becomes representative full-bodied money. The second thing that we want to understand is what is called fiat money. A fiat money is nothing but anything that is a legal tender. So, you know, anything that is accepted legally by the government would be fiat money. So if, for example, tomorrow the government comes up and says that, cryptocurrency can be easily used for the day-to-day transaction, then that also becomes a legal tender and it becomes fiat money. So anything that carries a legal tender is fiat money. Now, let's understand what are the physical properties of money. So the first physical property of money is that it is portable. It should be portable, which means you should be able to carry it easily. You know, the money that we have can be easily put down in any place. So it's not like those gold that you had to carry initially. So it is portable. Second, it should be divisible. You should have money in different denominations. You have all the way from 1 rupee, 2 rupee coins to notes, bigger notes. So it is easily divisible. You can easily buy things from that money. The third is durable. It should not wear out quickly or it should not depreciate. For example, fruits. If fruits, for example, were used in the barter system, they were perishable. They were not durable in nature. You couldn't use them for a long period of time. And last is that it should be recognizable. So this means that, you know, if today I go from Delhi to Bombay, then it is not that money loses value if I travel from one state to another. It is recognized by the people of that state also. So the modern currency in that way is very good because it is recognizable. And why is it recognizable? Because it is fiat money. It is a legal tender. The government has given us that. So everybody recognizes it. Okay.